Well, he wasn't the only thing, but he had a big part to play.
He did a lot of ball things.
Yes, he did.
Gotcha.
One. Attackers
All right.
incoming.
Well, we can go ahead and take a look.
Stop the payload.
I can see right away we got a little bit of a staggered push going with Ryan. We have a little bit of hesitation going forward, going back, and then we're still messing with the sneaky ball
Yep, we
holding the
call it
cart.
out. Now we start trying to get rid of him,
Okay.
and he runs.
Cool. So we get an early pick. Um,
What am I doing?
so we get an early pick, but we don't make a decision to do anything off of it. So we have a distinct um, DPS advantage, uh, be it with with Soldier and Widow, and so, but we just kind of stick with the cart. And you can see here we have like a barrier going out. We have people in the front. We have people in the back. Um, we're kind of playing. We're not really playing off of anything per se. We're just kind of playing.
Mhm.
I don't see any strategy or tactic or play or. Um, we're kind of just in our default instincts, and we're trying to do our best. But we're not actually playing like a six stack right now. There's nothing that we're not pushing with Rhine. We're not leaving individuals on the cart that could specifically handle ball, while the rest turn the corner and really push the advantage. Even if we did that as one, we can still work that. And so that's good that they're backing up like they are. They're giving us free space. We just got to capitalize on it. And here, this should be and should have been called out. Amp too deep, because we can't really help him if they
Mhm.
push. Um, and for all we know, Amp, he hasn't looked back to see what's happening with the team, so he may be assuming that everyone's six stack right on his butt. But we
Yeah.
don't know. The uh, the thing here is if we play split shot caller, like it's written out, then the healer's job is going to be the one to rein in the Rhine or to bring the team to Rhine, one way or the other. There's a positioning failure here.
Okay.
And so we burn barrier, we burn bubble. Now we're getting slammed. Mojo's a frontline DPS on a backline character. So Mojo, you want to use your legs on this one to either take that high ground, to go wide, um, something somewhere where you can duel and kill people rather than burn a barrier, because you don't have that barrier burst. In fact, you don't even have another DPS backing you up for a barrier burst. So we're not going to win any barrier fight with this setup, because we have a Widow. And we don't have a Hog. We don't have, any kind of heavy barrier
Mhm.
damage. And so, rolling with the Widow to double take a duel, like she half healths them and you helix them, or anything at all. Like you just start picking off people and open up opportunities for Widow to finish off targets, or vice versa. Um,
Yeah.
that's gonna be our goal as Soldier. And we can see here that we lost Amp right away due to being out front, burning resources when the team wasn't using them. And, he died at 600 shield. Um, and that was probably just a fire strike. Point being, push with everyone or don't push at all.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
you guys are just as much responsible. If he's not looking at you, that's a training point. We get to talk to him in the match and say, Ryan, you're too deep. Come back.
And we could, looking at our comp, we couldn't even support him if we weren't in a close range brawl. Like we were, Lucio's far away. Moira's far away. I'm running away from him already at this point because I didn't like what was happening up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys can initiate close range as these heroes, but still, you're going to be off angle heroes on
hmm
Widow and Soldier.
I think I'm gonna put in soldiers my next session with you
Okay.
just to get some things because, like, it's one I feel comfortable with like knowing what his abilities are, but it's the like positioning and strategy, kind of like how I was with Reaper. Like, I still felt like I was comfortable, but you know, after like that one-on-one session, I was able to understand more of the position thing. I think that, especially right there, that was where I was stuck at,
Right.
like not knowing how best to support the team in that role.
So specifically for you, um, if you ever catch yourself in the front,
hmm
that's generally a bad thing unless you've already won the fight.
Yeah.
So in this position, we can, even before this, we can already see that we're running. We're in the front. Hasanoki's out there, but he has his grapple jump maneuver, so he's fine. And so we're going deeper into the front. So now we're going to end up dueling a 1v6 if we actually keep going this way. And then we realize it, we back up, and we don't round the corner in time.
I get stuck.
Lesson from all of this is if you can ever avoid it, never play off of cover.
hmm
Always play your cover. All of that you achieved running around out there, you can achieve right here.
It's funny you say that. That's what I was trying to do, but I was backing into the wall, and then I finally had to turn around and move.
I mean before that, like a good 15 seconds.
Okay, yeah, when I was out front looking at him,
Right.
and then
When
getting
you were
shot in
out
the face.
here running forward and then you got discorded, so you started backing up. That whole maneuver, you can do the same thing right here. So I'm not
Mhm.
talking about when you were in danger and you backed up and got stuck on the wall. I'm talking about the whole
Being out
15
there in the
seconds.
first place.
Right.
Okay.
And this is also very useful for Soldier. You have up here, you have really nice high ground to peak barriers. If they get aggressive, you just shoot them in the back. So things like that. So off angles. And then this is for Hasanoki as well. You know, we have really good line of sight here, and we are going to initiate a duel. This will open up some shots. And then up here, this was a really great high ground and a really great off angle, but we stayed here when they backed up. When they lost Soldier and Reinhardt pushed up, they all backed up over here. And so what we can do is, instead of peeking the main, we can go around here and try to hunt some healers. And then, of course, we're using the floor for this. And so you only go out as far as you need to. You see a head, you pop the head. Don't go all the way out here.
hmm
Cool. And that's same for Soldier. And so we're dueling in a choke, or you know, the longest path to where we want to go. And this is always a really rough choice as Brawl. So this should be Widow's lane. You can leave Widow here. This is fine. Make this her off angle and make it safe for her to play here. And the way you can do that is by playing in here. And so now we have cover all the way to the same point that Rhine's at. We have cover for the same progress, if y'all can see what I mean.
hmm
And so instead of going that way, we're just getting shot the whole way with a barrier.
But then we have a lot more natural cover. Yeah, I know, like, some of our bad decisions, honestly, were way back when we were trying to form up a comp to even start this round. Is I remember thinking, all right, what are we gonna do? The discussion I remember thinking was there is a lot of long range, like shooting galleries, I would say, and because I'm just thinking of running up the main road, obviously, and not with like going off to the left, pushing the card up so that we can get natural cover and have that. I just got to change mindsets, I guess, and also get the team. I would say we should have probably went to the left once we got the card up a bit ways, so that we could have played like our more comfortable characters that aren't at such a distance. Like a Reaper trying to shoot far away isn't good. I need to be able to use natural cover, get close, teleport in, or something like that. And that was why I'm not playing him. I'm playing Soldier, who I can have some range and feel like I was being effective.
Yeah, no, that sounds good too. And this is why I promote the 3 hero thing. It's not about, oh, this map, that map, whatever. We're not
Mhm.
master. We're not
No.
in the ranges where that's going to really impact us. The thing that's going to impact us is, are we playing to the plan? Are we playing together? Are we leaning on each other, or are we striving to win by ourselves? Right now, that's the first struggle. Once we get past that, we get deeper, we get deeper, we get deeper. Eventually, we get to, all right, let's clean up our comp. Let's actually build something that is for every single map. Let's build something that's for every single composition. And that's going to take a lot of time. But until we fix the first issue, it doesn't matter what comp we play or what heroes we play if we're not working with each other. If we're actually working against each other, like we are in this clip, it's going to be impossible no matter what heroes we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so really lean on each other. Just make that a goal next time we're in a 6-stack. How can I support Amp? How can I support Hasanoki? How can I just start trying to not I don't know, win things on your own. And I don't mean you, I mean everybody.
No, and I get it, because like I said, when we were starting this, I just felt like we struggled to make our gameplay of what we were gonna do,
Right. Okay. This
and that's
is a
how
good
we
comp.
ended up with this. But I mean, it's not that the characters aren't; it's just that we're not using them correctly.
Gotcha.
Is what I'm seeing. And I think that's at least that's like my perspective of it. Like,
right.
I'm playing a soldier, but I was out front. I'm playing like shield break style character to support Rhine, but there's better characters for that I even have in my repertoire of 3 choices.
Gotcha. Right. I think
What I'm
one-on-one
what I'm thinking about.
One-on-one coachings will definitely set everyone in the proper position as we play.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's assume Balance was back here with us.
Yep.
And Amp's rounding this corner. Let's say he's right here. And we're just waiting for people to respawn. And so Balance is with us. He's not out there. Amp isn't out there with his shield. He's right here where I'm at. He can look around. He can say, oh, I got 2 healers and a sniper and an off-tank. I think we're missing a couple. We're going to rally. And so we just wait.
Yeah.
If they get aggressive, it's their downfall. We're idle. We're ready. We have all of our abilities. We're in a squad. We're in a WAD. A battle ball, a brawl ball. If ball comes around the corner, we're ready to shoot. We're ready to wreck them. We don't have any stuns or anything, but we can do some damage to our some ult. And so the key here is to look at each other and say, oh, we're not ready. If Amp doesn't see this, we say, Amp, we're down 2. And he can make a decision whether he wants to push 4v6 or if he wants to hold. It's up to him.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to push, we'll have to support that. But as long as he knows, you guys told him it's 4v6.
Yeah.
And so the people respawn. We're a 6-stack. And if we want to push main, that's fine. whatever the decision is, go with it. Pushing. Round the corner, shield comes up. No stopping, no dancing, no jittering, and then we get to cover. Same idea. Stick with me. Move and shoot, move and shoot. Barrier comes up. We're moving to the right. We're shooting, we're shooting, we're shooting. We're trying to get shots. We're in cover again. Barrier can rest. We're behind cover. They can't do anything. And now we're right next to the cart. And we're at full barrier again.
And skill reset potentially.
That's right. And so, if this guy flickered his shield, if he did not play perfectly, if he flickered his shield, he's blocking the, the widow or whatever. Now all of a sudden, we have a barrier advantage, which means we are in advantage, even if it's a small one. And Hasanouki can reposition for snipes. You, Mojo, can either go up here now, if you wanted to. And shoot over barriers. Or you can play this other angle while everyone else pushes mid. And you can even, if you're going to long flank, be sure to tell the team, because it takes a while to get out here. But you can flank down there, you can flank up here, whatever you like. You get attention, drop your Healy station, only then when you get attention. Okay, cool. And so just having everyone as a unit and everyone with a purpose is really what we're trying to achieve. And
we lacked focus.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's okay. And it doesn't look like Weasel was here for this one. I think Weasel was...
He's spectating.
Oh, he's spectating? Okay.
Yep.
Was he shot calling?
Don't think so. Not only when he... So we were doing rotations because we had 7.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes he was in, sometimes he was out.
Okay.
This particular one, he was spectating. I think he said something about doing homework, or I don't know if it was this round or a little bit later.
So here's the danger of pushing main. You can see we are super spread out. And Soldier too. Oh, he respawned. Never mind. They back up. They gave us space. Cool. They didn't have to do that.
No, they're resetting their ability.
Yeah. And so we can see if they just pressured us with their... What's her name? Laser beam lady. Symmetra, thank you. Then our barrier, I believe, is extremely low. Oh, wrong person. So yeah, Amp is at 200 barrier, and he's lost half his armor. And so they could hold this corner just fine, line aside all of our DPS, and have an extreme DPS advantage, especially with ball in the backline. Especially with ball in the backline, they can push us and wipe us if they wanted to. But they don't. They want to back up. They're playing conservative. They have a conservative Rhine. That's okay. That's our advantage. So we're getting picks. We're going aggressive. And we have half our barrier there. And so we just want to be careful too. Even as healers, we're shouting out, "Can't keep you up, Rhine." Just let him know he's about to die. And that's the same for whoever calls it. Same for DPS. Call your picks. Call advantage. If you guys just popped off and got 1 or 2 picks, just shout it out. We're in advantage. And then decisions can be made off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Nice. All right. It's a little scrappy, but we're doing it. And then here too, it's a little deep. We have very mobile heroes that we're chasing, but we did have a Lucio.
I remember screaming back off right here.
Woo. All right. Oh man. And so, yeah, everyone's hurting. We have one heal up, and this one's for Amp. If you ever find yourself in that position, just run. Like, go in or die, or go in and die, or run and maybe live. Take the maybe live if the fight's still going, if you have a healer. Which was Spartan. And then Spartan, you can shout that out too, because I know things get chaotic. The more we can give opportunities and let people know that there are opportunities to be saved, then we just inject that reality into their present. We inject that option into their present decision making. So they may think, checkmate, time to suicide. And you were right there with a Healy orb, and you were like, oh, because they didn't know. We may assume with being, hit with a mine and everything else, that this is a lost fight, time to suicide and reset. When actuality, that's not the case. They're in a limbo line. Soldiers are front line. We have Moria in front of the barrier. All we had to do was keep our people going and stuff, and we were doing great. Oh wait, maybe this is our Healy orb. I don't know.
No, that one's been there. It's...
Okay. Cool.
There's a few bugged orbs out on the map.
Yeah, they're hanging out. So cool. I like the rally. We're a little scattered still. Hasanoki, be careful about rounding in front of your Rhine, just because it is a danger zone. Like, you might as well let it hit the barrier than let it hit your face. So we did get the stun for the ball. I like it. But keep in mind, notice what that ball did. It stalled all the backline, the entire backline. And then Amp is already in a fight with half barrier, and nothing came of it. And so we can see that flank hits, are we still able to push? Generally, no. We can try pushing and walking forward, but ball has CC. Ball's going to point blank headshot somebody, and they're going to instantly vanish unless we take care of it. So, ball hits, let Amp know, stall, stagger, natural cover, whatever you need to say. Ball is stopping us.
Yes.
That way we don't end up with a, 20-foot gap. That way we round a corner and we have a 1 meter, or, like a 5 meter punch ready to delete somebody with our McCree. So now we walk up here. Let's say everyone's right here with a Reinhardt. And ball is that close. Closest is target, according to Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, ball's target, stun goes out, fan goes out. If we can, hammer. If we can't, don't worry about it. Healers, you guys are deeps. As soon as that stun hits, you guys fire at least once. Helix goes out. Right click, left click comes out from Zarya, so we get a grenade followed by a beam. Grenade is your burst damage. And so now all of a sudden we have so much burst damage going into ball that he should get deleted by the time the stun's over or shortly after. That's the amazing power of Brawl, especially with a stun. The closer they are, the more dead they should be. If someone goes past the shield, now they're blocked from heals, they're checkmated. If we shoot them. If we ignore them, we're checkmated. We're letting a flank happen. Another suicide. So just keep in mind too. If, let's let Ryan know we're there for him. Just like before. And that he can wait or stall or rest. With a little bit of natural cover, a little bit of rest. Ryan rests, that's the mode, by the way. You guys take natural cover.
Mm.
All right, we got some hook going too. Look at that. So cool. So if you notice, Ball has not really been killing you guys. Ball has
He's
been
just been disrupting.
disrupting. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now we move to counter him with certain pulls and everything because he's not timed with his team, and we can do that because he's not playing like he's in a 6-stack. And so we got 3 stuns rolling. Now we are a frontline team. We have shifted to a frontline team with 1 off angle, which is 76. And so now we can push forward. See the stutter step back, what it created?
Mm-hmm. Big gap.
We got a gap. Now that stun's going to be delayed along with everything else. And we're not even going to be able to follow it up because we have a Brig who's not able to follow up to do a double stun after the McCree. And so we're rolling with a beam. We're rolling with Spartan. Just keep in mind, as long as you guys are in the beam, you can do whatever you want.
Mhm.
And so this opens up charges. This opens up rolls. This opens up crazy, desperate hooks. You know, this opens up all kinds of stuff as long as it's in the beam. Because now whatever you do in that beam, the target will die. And you will live, generally, unless they have extreme focus fire. Generally, right now, it's not going to be an issue. All right, good flank from the visor. Good, Amp looked back. And he made a different call. He made a different decision based on what he saw. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody needs to do that. Perfect. And it's all right, Amp. You can play on the cart if Ball is doing a tracer or he's bouncing around or whatever. And you can use that as natural cover too.
Can we rewind that last part there?
Yeah.
Like, it got overturned so fast in my mind. Like, I was watching, I was like, man, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, this was a great flank. A great
And it's
pin.
like,
Mines come out, and we have 2 threats. So this is essentially a 2v6 with reinforcements. And so with the mines are very dangerous too.
but we lose this. This is what's killing me.
Yes.
And I'm
don't-
like, how did it get overturned so bad? Right from right here. I just wanted to watch that again.
Okay. We'll watch it. I'm gonna give some ideas after we watch it.
Okay,
So we'll watch it, at 0.5 or something.
that's fine.
You see what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
So, Ball stalled. Ball got a couple kills. He got the Discord. He got the Healy Orb. And it stalled us enough for reinforcements to come. And you can see that we're not able to keep up with the heals. And eventually
No.
the reinforcements hit and they get picked off. Scenario 2. Imagine right here that because you have speedy legs, you keep going for Zen. Because I am assuming you see the orb, you see Ryan getting shot, you hear him shooting, you see the Discord, you know he's still alive. Let's assume that you just went and dueled the Zen and even kept a corner. and you zoned him or something.
Yeah.
And let's assume Ryan heard the mines, heard Ball, and said, "Oh my gosh, my backline's in trouble. We've won the front line. I need help." And he flicked around, got natural cover as soon as he could to get out of line of sight of poop. And he used some of his barrier and some of his hammer to break these mines, secure the payload, hit Ball, block his slams, block his guns, while you were back here ready to catch his escape and maybe kill Poop Zen.
I was wondering why you said that earlier, but that makes
That's
sense.
his name.
I know. I was like, what?
And so this is so you would know to do these things with my coaching, with what I've been coaching ever since about a month or so ago. You would know to do these things instinctively because I've been teaching to help each other, lean on each other, support each other, even if you're not a supporter.
Yeah.
Ryan's job is to protect his team and to set him up in position. And if he does it on his own, he gets no value. Your job is to constantly be taking off angles and checkmating people and zoning people and shooting over barriers so that they can't do their job. And you're getting picks and kills and you're supporting people by essentially being a long-range ball. Except you don't have a slam. You're not a tank.
No.
You're just a different flavor of ball if we want to take it to extremes. And so now you are acting as the enemy, as Ball is over there, except against Zen. And so if you can fight him, cool. If you have a Healy station, pop it down, duel him. If he hits you, heal up. Fight him again. If he hits you, heal up. Fight him again. If you checkmate him in low enough health, you can helix him. You know, just so you know, the technique is, so helix boops people. And it can throw off your aim sometimes, depending on what you're used to. So I
do it a
recommend,
lot against widows when I'm as soldier. Like if we needed something like that, I just try to helix them, and like it's like my first thing, just because I know it moves them a little bit.
So I would encourage you to make it your last thing. Make it an execute. You tap 2 bullets to the head, maybe 3. I don't remember the numbers. Take your time. Hit them if they don't see you. Either way, get them to half health and then helix. They're going to run after the helix. They're not going to likely run right away if they're getting shot. So you checkmate them by shooting them and then finishing them off with a helix, especially with a splash. You might be able to do it even if they're on cover. So
Yeah. You'll notice a lot of times if someone tries to run away from you after you shoot them a couple times as a soldier, they don't run that far away around a corner. So if you just shoot right at the ground at that corner, a lot of times you can get splash damage on them and kill them.
With the rockets, not with bullets, though, right?
No, with the rockets. So like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Initiating
Like beam them down with your bullets, and then because
Use
again,
the-
like they don't realize how much splash there is.
I just, yeah, I just know as, like I said, I need to sign up for probably the soldier run like we did with Reaper,
cool.
because like the Reaper one, it definitely helped me quite a bit where I was able to, you know, I'm doing the flanks. I feel like I'm doing things a lot better. But when I was playing soldier, and especially in this one, I wasn't feeling very effective.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can definitely work on that. Just take the few tips I've given you, and it'll still take you a long way.
Hmm.
So this is an example of barrier management and getting value out of the barrier and things like that. And so we can see we just lost our barrier, and we're fighting another brawl, especially with a sim. If they play aggressive, which now they can play aggressive because he's almost at full barrier.
Yeah.
Now we do have barrier break this time, so you know their push is limited. But it could still give them an advantage, especially with a broken barrier that will take longer to regen, whereas he can shield hop and take cover and regen it, and swing his hammer while it's regenning, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I'm trying to emphasize a good bit of what I've been teaching you guys for the past month, and to loop it back into, it's the same lesson over and over, until we get past the point where we're playing for ourselves. We're not going to be able to play as a 6-stack. When you guys play as a 6-stack, you are no longer, I'm sorry, I missed the fight. You are no longer just playing for yourself anymore.
Yeah. And like when we sit here and watch these videos, it makes sense to me. I don't know why it doesn't.
It's the orange
Why
at the
it's
bottom.
Why is it not there when we're like setting up to go play this match?
You remember the orange at the bottom of the spreadsheet, on everybody's spreadsheet?
Yeah, this round I'm gonna teleport. Like what is my mini goal, whether we win or lose?
That's right. And why are we doing it? Do you remember?
To build our natural
Yeah.
reactions so that it's second nature, that we're not stuck thinking or overthinking
That's right. That's
or
right.
outthinking ourselves, which is where I felt like I was on this match for sure.
Cool. So when things get heated, we're losing. Tempers are flared. People might be angry at each other, angry at themselves. We're going to autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if we come into a match without any of our goals, without having any practice, and not going into the match being like, all right, it's just like we practice. It's just like I practiced.
Yeah.
If you can't go into a team 6v6 and say, all right, just like I practiced, no changes, then we're missing something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this fight. We have a really awesome pick. And we lose the barrier. And so we have to fall back. And then we lose someone because we lost the barrier, essentially. And so falling back, use the natural cover that you need to. Fall back as far as you need to. You guys were over here when the barrier broke. So this totally opens up these. And what's cool about these is that if they push Reinhardt like they're doing right now, look at that hook.
Mm-hmm.
Easy mode. Look at that flank. Come at me, I got a stun. Here she comes, boom. Fan the hammer. Alright, now we're in a position to win. Ryan has his barrier back up. He can push. We're in advantage. Running after the barrier breaks back to here without a barrier is dangerous without actually like trying to hide or go back behind the car. We get nothing out here. The best we would have is Hog to walk in front of the Reinhardt and drink while that barrier came back. And then everyone lining up to be out of line of sight using Hog's body as cover. Cool. Stop the res, got the hook. And watch for those hooks too. So this goes back to how do we help each other. A hook comes out, that's attention grabbing. That's like free kill. We won.
Yeah.
Luna looks at it. You look at it. Ryan maybe looks at it, depending on how much damage is coming in.
I like the nade hooks.
Yeah. Nade hook.
But at that
sniper.
distance, it's difficult to judge it. So
No.
when I'm sitting in this spot, I tend to try to do aggressive when they haven't rounded the corner yet. I'll toss the nade, try to catch them off guard.
That sounds good too. So yeah, you wouldn't nade the hook. You would nade where he's probably running back to his team. You would nade that. If
And
you
most of
wanted
the
to
time, I
nade.
do end up hitting a
Um,
hooked tank or something.
So the what I want to focus on is not the ability that you use or what the best strategy, whatever. My focus is on nobody cared that Hog got a hook.
Mhm.
You can plan everything you want to plan about your ability, your positioning, your strategy, and you can build that action trigger. When Hog hooks, I'm going to do XYZ. But if you're not in position and you're not looking for it, it's not going to happen no matter how badly you want it.
Yeah. I have actually developed the habit of shooting hook targets if I'm too far away for a nade. In fact, I think you paused it right when I was shooting.
Oh,
Ball.
cool. Let's back up.
I think one of the things though is like, and it's not this particular fight. It's like an just overarching thing that we don't seem to do as a team very often. Is that like what Nino's trying to get us to do? Is if we would play Brawl, play our characters, we wouldn't care about the ball and all the other distractions, because if we did our jobs well and good, we would just overpower them, and they would have to adjust to us, not us adjusting to them. It's kind of how I'm trying to think about it now.
Yeah, as soon as you gain an advantage, it's your control. It's your
Yeah.
game. You get to do what you want. I think the key point here, and I did see the shot, Spartan. It missed, but it would have got her.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's noticed my bad aim.
No, don't worry. The intention was what counts. The fact that you took the shot is what counts. The aim will come with time. So the thing I want to focus on, like, this is still the number one goal. It was when you guys are on offense, and it's still when you guys are on defense, is building up support for each other, leaning on each other, so that when you guys make tiny, 1-2 second advantages, like the hook, like the flash, like killing ball, etc., that people notice it, people see it, people shoot at it, people support you, they heal you, they assist your shot, whatever, they double stun, a McCree Brig or a McCree Hog or a Hog McCree, whatever kind of combo that happens, it will only naturally happen if you guys are looking at each other. And so look at each other, listen to each other, pay attention, be positioned with each other, and positioned off of each other if you're an off-angle player. Timing off of each other, like all of these things only happen once you ingrain into your heart that all of you matter on this team. So much so that you're best friends and you're willing to take that risky journey to get a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Until you're willing to do that, you're going to keep ignoring everything that each of you does. Until you see each other, stop seeing each other as liabilities and start seeing each other as friends, it's not going to work. You're just going to tear each other down over time and dissolve eventually. The choice is yours. Do you want a team? And do you have the capacity, the capability, the time to dedicate to this team, not only for yourself, but actually looking out after them and helping each other and talking to each other, brainstorming with each other, and not worried about, oh, that guy's going to, or I'm going to offend them by saying this phrase, or I'm going to get offended because they say I'm not good enough, or whatever. until we get there, this match is going to keep happening in a loop. And notice I'm not saying too many different things from the first round. It's the same stuff because we're looking at the heart. We're not looking at strategy because strategy comes from the heart. What is in this person's mind? Just by how they play, you can tell. What is in this person's heart? Just by how they play, you can tell. That's what I'm trying to get to you guys. So it's up to you. If you really want to bring the hammer down, y'all have the tools.
Yeah.
And I am here every single day. Not that, you can have a coaching every day. Maybe once a week.
I was about to
There's
say
a
I
lot
was
of
going to
people.
hold you to that.
I can
It's like,
answer.
he's coming to Monday practices.
Yeah, I will probably come to Wednesday practices instead of Thursdays because I'm just gonna. Y'all do whatever you want on Thursdays. It seems people are not able to make Thursdays very well, and
Yeah.
so I'd rather make Wednesdays.
Not only that, you said you want to transition us to live coaching where it's not a VOD review, but like, I think that could also be very useful.
VOD reviews will be useful, in my opinion, once we begin achieving goals. So in these VOD reviews, I've given goals and I've given strategies for how to play comps, and we haven't done them. And so
Now we have to work on doing them.
Right. And so we can keep having these VOD reviews, but I'm just going to keep getting more and more transparent that this is a heart issue. This is not an Overwatch issue. Cool?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. How much time we got?
That's been an hour, but
Go ahead and group up. Let's play around and just try to do a 4-man and work with who you got. And I'll spectate. I'll leave this part in the recording too.
Alright, I don't think Noki's available just yet.
well, we could be at least a 3.
Yeah, I can't play from the car yet.
All good. Any questions so far, by the way?
I think the only question I have now, everything you're saying makes sense, and I know on a lot of those, especially when I was on Widow, I was still doing like lined up with my team and not taking off angles as much. Part of it was because they did have the ball. After a while, they just kept coming after me and then like the support, so I didn't really want to be too far away from them, everyone. But what I was gonna ask was, should I be playing Widow still when we're doing this, or should it like me playing Widow be on like my time when I'm just kind of practicing on my own?
You can play the Widow, just use the flanks that open up. So as they push to that first turn, they pushed up the ramp. Your position would be to stick behind them and then move to the high ground that's right next to them. Or use the windows on the left to shoot behind the Reinhardt barrier. So you get little glimpses and peeks through that door on the left.
Okay.
Things like that. And that way you're still within grapple range of your team if you get jumped. And then smash that help button for some Brig heals or whatever, and you can actually win a duel. You should be able to win that duel with a pocket.
Okay. That makes sense then. Because like I think at some point I started playing like Sombra more, and just because I was just like thinking that maybe Sombra might be more helpful than Widow until I get better with Widow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I should just like in my head, I felt like I should probably just be forcing Widow in some things, but I didn't know how I should be going about playing Widow as much.
Gotcha. Yeah, any little off angle you can take is if Squishy's head lines up in that tiny doorway, it lines up.
Yeah. Okay.
But Sombra can be finicky to learn. If you haven't already put a lot of time in, there's a lot of nuances.
A lot.
You guys in queue yet?
Hey Luna,
No.
are you able to get on?
Yeah, give me just a sec.
Sup, Luna? How's it going?
Tired.
Yeah.
Oof.
I didn't have much of a weekend. I was forced to work overtime on Tuesday.
Oh man,
That's rough.
it's never fun. Well, hang in there. Maybe we can get you to bed early tonight. I figure we'll only do one game.
I didn't know if you were spectating through Overwatch or you wanted to see a stream.
I'll spectate. That way I can jump around.
Bum, bum, bum.
Patokia.
What kind of rolls we got?
2 heal and DPS.
All right. So, I guess for this one, Mojo, just call for pockets when you're dueling,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the heals, y'all be sure to look out after each other, and then just divvy the heals between if it's a certain comp. We'll see once we get in there. If there's a main tank heal, off tank heal, and then help each other out as needed. Luna, how have your goals been going, by the way?
I think I've been doing pretty good. I haven't really been doing the death match or anything like that for practice. 1v1s.
All good. Anything I should remove?
Uh, Probably jumping and not healing when out of cover.
Ah,
Cool.
that was a fun little duel, Luna.
Yeah, I'm still getting warmed up.
Damn.
Ah, you got it.
Really, Sombra.
Oh, not another Reaper.
Now there's like 2 or 3 of us here.
There were 4. Okay, goodbye, Sombra.
I'll stop the
Uh.
recording.